Mr. Butler, Chrysler's lawyer asked you about the Emily Newsom's deposition. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Showed that page where she said, I was stopped and I was lined up on the road. You remember seeing that?
Yes.
Do you believe that at one time she was stopped and lined up on the road?
Yes.
What about the time of collision?
I believe she had moved forward and was moving to the left so that her vehicle could get spun. If she's not moved forward and going left, she can't spin the way she did. It's just pure physics.
So in terms of figuring out how vulnerable this Jeep was to rear impact, what is it that matters? What Emily Newsom was doing a few seconds before the impact, or what she was doing, what angle her car was at the moment of impact?
I would say at impact. That's the only thing that matters.
Can you think why Chrysler's lawyers would continue to focus on things that don't tell us anything about the performance of this Jeep in rear impact?
Objection, Your Honor. Argument is also speculation.
I sustain that objection.
I'd like to ask you about the angle of the Jeep again, because we talked to our Chrysler's lawyer asked you about that. We'll bring the flip chart over here with the court's permission. Oh. Now, Chrysler's lawyer asked you, showed you some pictures and asked you about the angle of the Jeep at the moment of impact. Do you remember those questions?
Yes.
I want to just review this real quickly and review why you believe it was an angle. The first thing I have written here is rear Jeep tire skidding sideways. Briefly, why does that matter?
Well, if the tire is turned sideways when it gets hit, it leaves marks that say it's sideways, and the whole Jeep has to be sideways. It's a rear tire which has to point with the vehicle. The front tire is to turn, but the rear tire is the one that left that sideways moving mark. So it was turned at an angle before the collision forces started pushing it sideways.
What about track width? Why does that matter?
Well, the tire mark we just looked at was only the right side tire mark. If we use the left side tire mark as well, then to be only 3 or 4 feet apart east-west, that Jeep had to be turned. They have to get close together in the sideways measurement. Normally they're 5 feet apart. If it's going straight, only 3 or 4 feet apart, it's turned at an angle of close to 4.
We've got, I wrote down a degree of overlap difference. Why is that important?
Inline collisions, the overlap is the same on both vehicles. If one's got half, and they're the same width. If one's half overlap, the other's half. The only way we can get more on one is get this one turned so we can hit it and come across it and get more of the vehicle. And the pure 90 degrees is the side swipe, where you get all of one and none of another. So you know, somewhere between equal and all is where we were, so it had to be an angle.
It says rotation, 4 degrees versus 540 degrees. What does that tell us about the angle of the Jeep at the moment of impact?
It's square dancing.
What's that?
It's square dancing. If 2 square dancers go along and hook arms, they'll spin the same way. But because they hook and they go and they spin the same amount, one can't spin more than the other one. In this case, one's spinning more than the other one. So one had to already be turning and turn. You know, they didn't actually hook up, but for one to get hit and spin, and then they keep going straight, that's kind of like a pop-up. In softball, you swing under the ball, it goes straight up, it's got a lot of backspin to it. With a line drive, you hit square, and they both, you know, the ball goes the same direction as the bat. So that's an inline versus a glancing blow.
All right, pop-up versus line drive. That's what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, inline would be line drive. More of a pop-up would be the turn at an angle.